Detachment is the quiet power most men discover to lead a serene, unshakable calm that radiates strength and rewires how the world sees you. It's not about becoming cold, apathetic, or bitter. It's about mastering the art of inner stillness, the kind that makes people pause and look twice. Most men chase love, validation, success, believing that gripping tightly proves their worth. But real power lies in letting go, in releasing the need to control outcomes or beg for attention. When you stop clinging to what others think, feel, or do, something profound happens. The world flips. The woman who ignored you starts wondering why you're no longer orbiting her. The opportunities you chased begin seeking you. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop needing. Your identity no longer hinges on someone else's approval or presence. You can love deeply without being enslaved. Desire success without desperation, and aim high without losing sleep over timelines. This is masculine, power, silent, spiritual, rooted in discipline, earned through battles with your own insecurities. The moment you detach, you become the center of your own gravity, no longer a satellite to someone else's whims. People feel this shift: your calm, your focus, your refusal to plead or prove. Women, especially, sense a man who doesn't need them, and that mystery draws them in like nothing else. It's not manipulation, it's evolution. Detachment isn't about shutting others out, but about remembering who you are at your core. When you stop chasing, you start becoming a man so grounded that everything meant for you begins to align naturally. You don't force connections or beg for respect. You embody a presence that commands both. In this stillness, you don't just find peace, you become it. And the world can't help but take notice. Asterisk, most men don't suffer from heartbreak, but from clinging to illusions they've built around someone. You thought she was the one, that her promises were eternal, the connection was unshakable, but it wasn't her betrayal that broke you. It was your attachment to a fantasy. Detachment strips away this fog, forcing you to see people not as you wish them to be, but as they truly are. When you chase texting endlessly, seeking validation, begging for her attention, you hand over your energy. She feels it, testing your boundaries, feeding off your need, taking your presence for granted. But when you detach, the dynamic reverses. Your absence becomes a deafening presence, louder than any argument or plea. She senses the void not because you played a game, but because your energy no longer orbits her. Detachment is liberation from emotional slavery. You stop sending long texts to explain your worth. Stop checking her stories for signs. Stop craving closure that never comes. You live quietly, powerfully, and in that silence, the world shifts. She wonders why you stopped chasing, why you walked away with dignity, why you vanished without a trace. That curiosity, that uncertainty sparks her obsession, not because you manipulated her, but because you chose yourself. The man who leaves with peace, not drama, burns in her memory. He's not the one who begged or fought. He's the one who knew his value and refused to compromise it. Detachment reveals the truth. You were never incomplete without her. You stop apologizing for your standards, stop justifying your silence, stop needing her to validate your existence. In that clarity, you reclaim your power not to punish her, but to rebuild yourself. Your absence becomes a mirror, reflecting her choices, and in that reflection, she feels the weight of what she lost. A man who walked away whole. Asterisk, detachment is enforced through silence, not a petty tactic to manipulate, but a disciplined choice to protect your peace. It's the quiet exit that reverberates louder than any heated argument or desperate plea ever could. Most men react to rejection with noise-angry outbursts, long texts, or public displays of pain, but a detached man disappears with dignity, leaving no trace of drama. This silence isn't about punishment. It's about honoring your worth. Stop rewarding bad behavior with your time. Stop explaining your boundaries to those who refuse to respect them. Stop pouring energy into connections that drain you. Your absence becomes a powerful statement, revealing who truly values you and who is merely feeding off your attention. Women don't forget the man who walks away calmly, not because he's cruel, but because he's disciplined, grounded in a strength that doesn't need to shout. Silence is your ally, a sacred space where truth emerges. In it, you see clearly how much of the relationship was real, how much was just chaos masquerading as connection. She feels the weight of your absence not because you're gone, but because you're no longer predictable, no longer her fallback plan. You've become a mystery, and humans are wired to chase what they can't fully grasp. Detachment turns your silence into a mirror, reflecting her actions back to her, forcing her to confront what she overlooked or dismissed. She expected you to beg, to cling, to spiral, but you didn't. You evolved in solitude, rebuilding in private, glowing up without broadcasting it. That quiet transformation haunts her, not because you sought revenge, but because your growth speaks louder than words. The man who walks away with peace doesn't just leave, he leaves an impact. A memory she can't erase, because he chose himself over chaos. Asterisk detachment transforms you into the prize not through arrogance, but through wholeness. When you stop chasing validation, you redirect that energy into building your purpose, health, and craft. You cease seeking approval and start selecting what aligns with your vision. This shift is magnetic. Women sense a man whose world is complete without them, and it draws them in. Your standards become unshakable, not swayed by fleeting emotions or fleeting beauty. You don't lower yourself to meet chaos. Invite others to rise to your peace. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about being hard to ignore. A detached man is dangerous because he's in control, unmoved by pressure, unbothered by rejection. He doesn't chase temporary highs or confuse lust for loyalty. He values consistency over chemistry, choosing partners who add to his mission, not subtract from it. Women feel this and respond differently, softening, listening, showing up with respect, because your presence demands it without a word. You've stopped begging for attention and started embodying a standard that commands. Detachment makes you selective, and that selectivity is power. You don't say yes out of loneliness or settle for draining conversations. Your energy becomes a filter, repelling those who offer only crumbs and attracting those who match your frequency. When you walk into a room, people notice not because you're loud, but because you're centered. Your calm isn't forced. It's earned through battles with your own neediness. Women don't just desire you. They respect you, wanting to earn a place in your world. This isn't manipulation, it's evolution. By prioritizing your growth over external validation, you become a man who doesn't need a partner, but is open to one who aligns with his purpose. Detachment doesn't push away. It pulls in what's real, making you undeniable. Asterisk detachment is spiritual alchemy, transforming pain into purpose and loneliness into legacy. It's not about shutting out the world, but about reclaiming your energy, redirecting it from chaos to creation. When you stop fearing loss, you fear only losing yourself. By choosing peace over panic, you become untouchable, not distant, but full, radiating a calm that's earned through discipline. Your energy consolidates, growing sharper, denser, more magnetic, no longer scattered on those who don't see your worth. You build, grow, and execute, and the world bends to your standard. Detachment isn't the absence of love. It's the clarity to love without clinging, to want without needing. You stop chasing fleeting validation and start attracting what aligns. With your vision, women, opportunities, and respect flow toward you not because you demanded them, but because you became undeniable. You don't beg for loyalty, you filter for it. You don't chase attention. You command respect through presence. This shift is visceral. People feel your groundedness, your refusal to be swayed by emotion. You stop arguing with those who don't. Listen, stop fixing what was never yours to mend. Stop bending for those who won't lean. In that freedom, you become a force lighter, freer, focused. Detachment turns you from a seeker into a magnet, drawing only what matches your frequency. The pain of loss fades, replaced by the celebration of clarity. You no longer grieve what wasn't meant to stay. You embrace the truth that what's yours will fight to remain. Everything fake falls away, leaving solid bonds and unshakable peace. Detachment doesn't just free you, it refines you, aligning your life with purpose. You stop waiting for her to see your worth and start living it. Becoming the man who doesn't chase because he's already whole and the world orbits him.